Have you heard the new J. Cole album?
No.
Haven't heard it yet? He has a line that's kind of interesting. And J. Cole's from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah.
In the country.
Yeah, J. Cole dope.
J. Cole's dope, yeah.
Yeah.
But he had this one line that I found kind of interesting. He said, I'm going to change some of the words here because there's certain things that, I'm not going to say. But he said, dudes be in the Ville. He said, dudes bang in the Ville. I always thought that shit was strange. How can you claim blood or cuz when that was just a LA thing? I meant no disrespect towards your set. No, I'm just saying that it seems like for exceptions, dudes will do anything. Dudes will rep any gang. Dudes will bust any head. Dudes will risk everything. Point him out and then he dead. Shooting up where his granny lived. Blow, blow, his granny duck. He don't give a fuck. He on Henny and Zannied up.
He painted a clear picture of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It will risk everything. Yeah.
It go back to DJ Quick talking about, you want to be like Compton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just for acceptance, dudes will do anything. And a lot of it is for the acceptance, right?
Yeah. A lot of it. I mean, most of it is for the acceptance. It's like what need to be done? What's my role in this? It's an inexplainable shift from getting in it because you want to belong to propagating it at a mature stage in life. So you become more of a mentor against the pitfalls of that lifestyle as you get older and more aware than you do trying to bring people in to push it from a negative standpoint. It's like if I involve myself with any more gang activity, it's a money gang. So that's the only thing that'll make sense to me at this juncture in my life. Now, if you 19, 23, feel you got all your whole life ahead of you and you still want to spend it in conflict and, chaos, much love, homie, get it in. Maybe through your trials and tribulations and experiences, you'll learn how to perform better as you mature, if you get to mature.
Well, when me and Big U spoke, he talked about, he used to manage Nipsey Hussle. And he was saying how with Nipsey,
you got to credit the movement, the Nipsey movement in the beginning with what we was doing, because it wasn't about a color. We purposely was moving with the red and the blue, doing songs.
Right, because I remember clearly, like in the 90s, hearing that LA artists just would not work together just because of the gang alliances.
Right.
You may like DJ Quick's beat, but where you're from, you cannot associate with, with that blood set. You can't be in the same studio together. You can't do this, you can't do that. You look at these days, YG works with everybody. Nipsey works with everybody.
I feel like, now let me explain the difference between, because people did do things together, but it wasn't the Rollin 60s though. See, and then it goes to being like, you gotta remember when Nipsey came out, he the first artist and the only artist ever to never come out and claim a city.
He claimed a set.
He claimed Long Beach, he claimed a set. And he claimed one of the most violent sets on records. So when we start moving, I used to purposely watch all our videos, make sure. I used to tell Steve, no, that video can't go out because in the back of there, got somebody's set crossed out. And that video, no, you can't do this. And we used to purposely, make sure we wasn't dissing people, but representing the turf.
Right. And he was saying how you fast forward to 2018, and I guess you, Big U, is working with, the mayor's office, where they have a program where he has a group of employees that are all, ex-gang members, Crips, Bloods, Mexicans, and so forth. They would go out and try to fix problems before they start to escalate.
And I feel like in 2018, with the gangs and the murders and all that down in LA, that I'm getting there. You know what I mean? And if we can get it all the way down to where, because if it's low as it's been since 1966, and Crippin started in 1969, then put that on Big U.
And that's what it takes. It takes proactive intervention.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, what's going on over there? Is that right? Ain't nobody over there taking care of that? Oh, okay, why no dude right here? Let me give him a call and see if we can, you know, address the principles in this and bring it to a head before a whole lot of people got to get killed. And that's what G's do. You know, that's what a G is supposed to do. You know, if you're still trying to lead people to destruction and all that, man, you know, you really out of touch with with being a human, you know, and you develop responsibilities and attachments as you go on in life that you really don't want to sacrifice. And you don't want to sacrifice yourself being without. So, you know, that's a good thing, man. I applaud that, man. You know,
Yeah, I do too.
You know, I know Big U as a strong person, as a real leader of men, and as a guy who stands by his word. You know, and you know, it's good that they will entrust him in that position to be able to connect the dots like that, and you know, be influential in slowing a lot of this stuff down out here, because a lot of it that takes place is just, you know, a couple people get into it with a couple of more people, and they just bring everybody else into it. So if you cut that monster off, you know, where everybody just follows suit because one thing happened without investigating why it happened, you know, what kind of solution could be garnered from it, then, you know, you're really not doing your part as a G.
Right, because we had talked about, you know, the 60s were beefing with the
H.R. Gangsters?
the Tray Gangsters for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And we kind of briefly touched on the start, you know, the heart of that particular beef. It was like someone had gotten into an argument, someone got killed, and then the other side didn't want to hand the person over. And it was like, for that much violence and murder to happen,
Unbelievable.
that involves people who didn't even know who those original people beefing were. It's not like, okay, well, my brother got shot and I still feel a certain way. These people don't know, they almost don't know why they're beefing.
Not
like,
at all.
you know, you see what I'm saying? Because it's so far removed from the origin of that, that, you know, he said these days it's not really like that anymore.
Nah.
But it was for a very long time.
For a very long time.
Very long time.
You
Like,
know, and
literally
I'm
like
not
30.
from Los Angeles, but, you know, I went through the juvenile halls and camps and the youth authorities and prisons, so I saw they wore front hand, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, you know, I seen one of my guys, he's on death row, Lil Feet, Taekwon Cox. We was in Y together. We was in Preston together, and it was a couple of his enemies on another cottage. They was lining up to go to dinner, and we was coming back from dinner, and we were like about 40 yards away from him, and he spotted him, and he just took off out the line. We just call that selling out. You know what I'm saying? And he just, boom, took off out the line and ran up the hill and started locking up with both of them. And that was the standard then. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know, when you got to get at your enemy, you know, whatever. As soon as you got action at them, you know, you flight. So, yeah, they had a bitter war going on for a long time. Lost a lot of people in between that.